Hey, what's up everybody? Nate here from Out of the Basement, bringing you a brand new old school Star Wars The Black Series action figure review. Today we are looking at number 14 in the blue line, and that is Clone Commander Cody. One of the most popular clones, if not the most popular clone. Maybe Rex is, but it's between him and Rex. Of course, we see him quite a bit in Star Wars Episode 3. This is going to be another review where I take a look at the figure and we determine if it's going to be worth the aftermarket value, which I'm sure most of you guys know by now is absolutely insane for him. And right off the bat of this video, Hasbro needs to release him 100% again. Originally released in 2014, 2015, I was lucky enough to find him at a used video game store of all places. They have a really small section of action figures, and he was randomly there one day, and I was super happy to pick him up. I got him quite a while ago, though, honestly. Definitely paid over the $20 price for him. I believe I personally paid $35 for this figure, but that was back like 2016-ish, I want to say. Which, I mean, by now, that's a fantastic price for Cody. So, of course, this is the old school box, the big window. You've got the little image of Cody right there. You got the old school Star Wars Black Series logo right there. He's number 14, like I said, in the line. My box is really damaged. It actually got wet when my basement flooded, so that's why my box's condition is not very good. On the side, of course, you got more window. On the back, he actually doesn't have a bio, but he does have a nice picture on the back, and you can see how warped it is from the wetness, which is a bummer, but, you know, whatever. The figure was all right. On the side there, just some warnings. On the bottom here, not a whole lot going on. On the top, the same thing. So let's go ahead. We're going to get this guy open. We'll take a look at his accessories and then the figure itself. Okay, first up, he comes with the smaller clone blaster right here, which is the same clone blaster mold we've seen ever since the clones were introduced into the line. And they look good. I mean, they're very accurate to the movie. Looks pretty good. This one is just plain black plastic. No paint application details at all for Cody's guns, which is definitely a disappointment. But I don't believe at this time any of them really had paint application details for the clones yet. I think that was something that came a little bit later. But yeah, plain black gun. And then the longer rifle as well, which again, we've seen this a million times before. Features the same great sculpt work, looks accurate, just like the smaller blaster, but again, no paint application details, just pure black plastic. But the accessories look good. I'm not really sure what else he could possibly come with. The two clone guns are good enough in my opinion, but of course paint apps on the guns would be greatly appreciated. So now let's take a look at the figure. All right, and here is Commander Cody out of the packaging. And of course, as most of you guys know by now, this figure does look very good. Of course, mine, well, you can't really tell on camera, but mine is definitely turning yellow a little bit for sure, just due to time, which is of course a little disappointing. And of course there are the frustrations that plague most of the clones in the line, definitely apply to Commander Cody as well in terms of articulation. But just taking a look at him on the stand, of course, he does have a lot of really nice details on him. So let's go ahead. We're going to take him off the stand and we'll get a closer look. All right, and here is Cody up close and personal. And you can see he does feature a lot of really, really nice details. He's got tons of actual paint details on the figure. The head sculpt here is amazing. Of course, it's the Phase 2 look. And he has the visor on the helmet, which does not move at all. But he does have really nice silver paint details for the antennas. He's got two antennas on his head. The blue lines are cleanly applied. The yellow decals right there on the vents of the mask are also very cleanly applied. Really nice sculpt work too in the teeth. This piece right here is also sculpted in to the actual mask, so that's very nice. On top of the head, he's got some gray paint as well that is very cleanly applied. Looks pretty good. On the back of the helmet, you got a little bit of black paint right there, which is a little sloppy, but of course it's going to vary by figure to figure. On the shoulder here, he has more silver paint details for his little antenna thingy, which is nice. And he's got his rank plate right there. That's very cleanly applied, looks awesome. You can see he also has scratches and dents in his armor, which I don't think many other clones actually have sort of these battle scars in the armor, which is very nice and makes Cody a little bit unique. Looking at his arm right here, you can see he's got more gray paint going down, which looks worn and tattered. Looks very good. He's got some orange paint on his elbows that you can see is a little scuffed. He's got tons of great back details right here. He's got some bronze paint for his little backpack doohickey. And he has more bronze paint as well for some pouches. And as Justin likes to call it, the Oreo holder has plenty of paint apps on it, although definitely a little sloppy there, especially on this orange piece right here. You can see there's gray and plenty of orange mist right there. And then moving along, there's some more bronze paint that looks very nice, very reflective. And some more orange paint right here for half of his belt. Never understood why half of Cody's belt is orange and then the other half is gray, but that is how it is in the movie. He also has some more details over here. He's got a bronze-ish armband right here with a little doohickey on his arm. That looks really nice. He's got some more orange paint for the fingers, and you can see there definitely a little bit of a miss. Moving down, he's got more paint on his thigh right here, and the knee pads are also orange paint. You can see mine are definitely worn. This was not done by me or anything. I'm pretty sure this figure I purchased it used. So potentially maybe a little kid had it at one point or something. Or perhaps this is just happening over time. Don't really remember what he looked like when I got him fresh out of the package. And you'll notice that his legs are actually a different plastic. And this is one thing that bugs me about this figure, is that his legs and arms are very soft. And it's almost like a more matte white. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but when you look at it in person, the chest piece and the helmet is much more reflective than the arms or the legs, and they look softer. They feel really soft, and it's not like other clone legs. For instance, a side-by-side, look at how reflective his corresponding clone. This is from the Order 66 pack, which was released a little bit later. But you can see the plastics all match on this clone. Whereas Cody, it seems to be a mix of two different plastics, and his legs are really soft and they feel very brittle and like they're gonna really loosen up and bend over time. My Cody is already pretty loosey-goosey as it goes. So that is a little bit of a bummer, although I don't think it's gonna bother most people. It doesn't really bother me either, but it's just something that I would like to point out on the actual figure itself. And you can see his leg is also, this leg is slightly warped. I don't know if they're all warped like that, but you can definitely tell that, you know, it's so soft, especially at the knee joint right there. You can see how loose that gets. So honestly, I would love for Hasbro to give us a re-release of this figure, because I'd probably buy another one just because this one is becoming very brittle and it scares me. It scares me I'm gonna break it. As far as details goes, he gets a big pass. Accurate to the movie, most likely accurate to the Clone Wars animated series, although I have not got to the point where he switches to the Phase 2 helmet. I'm still in the Phase 1 moments of Clone Wars, but yeah, for me, the details are good. So now let's take a look at the articulation. Cody's head can look up pretty far actually for a clone, and he can look down very far for a clone as well. The helmet is hollowed out a little bit on the inside, you can see right there. So that allows for some more range for the head, and that is really nice. You get some side to side there, and of course he can look all the way around. You can spin the head around if you would like. The arms, the shoulders actually don't have much movement to them. That's about as far as they go up. These shoulder pieces are hard plastic, so they definitely inhibit the articulation quite a bit. So that's about all you get for the shoulders. Of course, the arms can rotate all the way around. He does feature a bicep swivel. The double jointed elbows work okay. You get less than 90. Let's try the other one here. Yeah, that's about all you get out of Cody. So modern clone elbows have been better. For instance, like Rex, I believe, has the updated clone elbows, but a lot of the clone troopers still have these old crappy elbows. So the elbows can definitely be a lot better. And mine are weird. The joints, this joint is much looser than the lower joint on mine, so I always have to kind of mess with it. Well, there you go. I guess that's, no, that looks about the same, in all honesty. For the trigger finger right here, of course, you got a molded trigger finger that rotates around, and it has the vertical joint, which is great. Glad he at least has that. And then this hand, the gripping hand, has the horizontal joint, and that can also rotate around. For the chest here, you do get approximately 0 side to side. It can tilt, but it doesn't really do much there. For the crunch forward here, not very far. Crunch back, not much at all. Kind of just looks like he's standing up straight. And there you go. You can see right here, look at how bent that leg is because of how soft the lower leg plastic is. Definitely is scary. So of course you also get the twist as well. Get plenty of twist out of the ab crunch there, but the ab crunch is not very good. Of course, the belt definitely gets in the way of the armor design, so you're not getting much forward out of this one because of the design. But if you do tilt him to the side, of course you can get a little bit more, but that looks unnatural. The legs can kick out very far. Of course, you don't even really have to do the normal thing where you twist the leg to the side, but you do get the thigh cut there. The legs can move out just about that far. It's about as far as you get for the split department. The double jointed knees work pretty well. Not too bad, but of course this strap piece gets in the way and inhibits the articulation like we've seen on all the clones. Look at how sloppy the paint is on the inside of the knee. Yeah, we definitely need a new Cody. We definitely need a new Cody. Moving down, the feet can't really move down very far due to the design, but they can move up a decent amount. And they do have ankle pivot. Like I was saying earlier, most of the clones in the line suffer from this really poor articulation, but I think Cody's is specifically bad. Just based on the shoulders inhibiting more of the articulation, the softness of the plastic sort of eating away at the joints and making them very brittle and loosey-goosey. And that's really disappointing, although I think the details obviously save this as a figure because he looks great. You're not going to get a lot of poseability out of him, but he does look awesome. So for the articulation, I'd say it could definitely be better, but most of the clones in the line are just about as poor as Cody is. So now we're going to compare him to some other Black Series figures and some other Star Wars figures in general. So let's see how he looks. All right, so here he is next to his 212th clone that would be under his command. This is from the Order 66 pack. And then of course we have Captain Rex right here, which Captain Rex is one of the best clone figures because he has that updated articulation with the deeper cuts in the elbows, so you get that extra bit of range out of there. But I think he still looks really awesome next to them. Of course, you can definitely tell he is the oldest figure of the bunch, but he still looks nice. And here he is next to the Walgreens exclusive Obi-Wan and Anakin. And then here he is next to the Bandai Phase 2 Clone Trooper model kit and the Mafex First Order Stormtrooper. So now it's time for the big question. Does he still hold up to modern Black Series figures? I would say yes. Despite the limited articulation, I think the details are still there. And of course, he does look accurate to his appearance in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. But is he worth the secondary market price? Currently, at the time of this video being released, he goes anywhere from $70 loose to over $120 in the package. Of course, the price depending on the condition of the box. And I gotta say it, it's gonna hurt to say it, it's gonna hurt to hear it, but in my opinion, he is not worth the extra price. Of course, Commander Cody is 100% an essential character for anyone's clone collection, but the limited accessories, the limited articulation, the way this figure seems to be aging, the joints getting looser and looser, the soft plastic getting softer and softer over time, even the mild yellowing that is going on that you really can't see on camera, but to the eyeball looking at it, he is definitely yellowing. And I live in a smoke-free environment. There's nothing that would affect the figure in that sort of way to make him yellow. It is just what is happening to this figure over time because of the plastics that were used. So it's pretty disappointing, and honestly, I would never ever pay that much for one single Black Series figure, even if it came with every single accessory I could ever possibly imagine. But for him to come with only 2 weapons that have no paint apps on them, in my opinion, he's just not worth that extra value. I think he definitely could get a re-release at some point, probably relatively soon, as Clone Wars is back and is in the public mind. The popularity is there. I mean, all the clones could use a re-release. The Order 66 pack, even Rex is climbing up there again for some reason, even though I recently found one for $5 at Ollie's. So I would say don't do it. Honestly, don't pay the insane price. I definitely think we could be seeing a Cody re-release sooner than later, just because Clone Wars is back. So that is going to be my review. What do you guys think of this figure? Let me know in the comments down below. Did you pick one up back in the day, or did you have to pay the iron price for it? I'd love to hear from you. Of course, don't forget, like I said in the previous videos, any figure that you would like to see that was a non-Comic-Con exclusive Black Series figure, J-Rick and I pretty much own them all together. So if you want to see us take a look at a specific older figure, definitely shoot a comment down below and we will definitely get to that. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Nate. Subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I will see you guys next time.